Welcome to the Kaiser Podcast Series on applying world-class standards at a local level. In today's globalized world, it's imperative to strive for excellence in all areas of life. Achieving this could be a daunting task, especially for individuals and organizations operating at a local level. In this series, we'll explore the key principles and best practices that enable local communities to achieve global standards in their respective fields. You will receive insight and tips on how you can apply these same strategies in your own context. If you're an aspiring business leader looking to compete on a global scale, this podcast is for you. So join us as we explore the exciting world of world-class standards at a local level. Remember, this is Construction Kaiser, and we're impacting today towards a sustainable future. Good day, everyone, and welcome to the launch of the Kaiser Podcast Series. We're launching this podcast series today because Construction Kaiser Limited will be turning 30 years in the year 2023. Yes, I said that. 30 years. Construction Kaiser, as an indigenous construction company, to be in this industry, this really tough industry for 30 years, is definitely worth applauding. And I congratulate the entire team for having achieved this feat. The theme for this 30th anniversary is impacting today for a sustainable tomorrow. It sounds like anyone could give their own interpretation of what that means. But I can tell you that for us, everything that we do in Construction Kaiser today is laying a foundation or laying the ground for what will happen tomorrow. Because we all believe, we have a strong belief in that Greek proverb that says, old men grow trees under whose shades they know they will never sit in. That means whatever we do today, we're doing it for the next generation. We're doing it for the people coming behind. We're doing it to ensure that we cast our name in the sands of time. And that is something that we like to implore everyone around us to do as well. My name is Jamila Fani. I am an executive director of Construction Kaiser, and I have been in Construction Kaiser for 18 years. And it's just amazing, for the journey that I have enjoyed in this community. With me today, I have the founder and CEO of Construction Kaiser, Engineer Igbuan Okaisabor. Yes, drum roll. Now, IG, as we all call him, fondly actually call him, because we feel like we're a family here. IG is someone that is known for raising people, for holding hands and ensuring that people achieve their potential. And IG, personally, I would like to say a big thank you for giving me the opportunity to be where I am today.
You're welcome, Jamila, anytime.
Thank you. So, IG, I know you. The team in Construction Kaiser knows you. I'll say a couple of other people also know you in the industry, but now for us, in this podcast, we want to go as global as possible. So can you tell the world more about you, or just a little about you? Let's hear.
Okay, I'm just IG, like you said.
Okay.
My name is Igbuan Okaisabor. I'm the founder and CEO of Construction Kaiser. I'm also the founder of Kaiser Foundation for Social Development.
Thank you. That's really laudable, IG. One thing that we all know that you are known for is integrity. And today, we want to talk about integrity in business. Is it still possible in Nigeria? IG, you are going to school us today on whether this topic is something that is worth discussing, and we want to learn from you on how you have been able to run your business for 30 years in Nigeria. So our topic for today, integrity in business, is this still possible in Nigeria? I'll ask you a couple of questions, and I'll hope that we'll be able to come out of this episode more knowledgeable about how you have run this business. Now, I would like you to please walk me through the fundamentals of integrity in your career. Why is integrity so important to you?
Thank you very much, Jamila. Now,
Welcome.
for me, integrity means a few things. It's about being honest. It's about trust. It's about taking responsibility. It's about being accountable. It's about doing the right thing when no one is watching. And how it has affected the business, there's so many times we've built projects without consultants watching over us, and we do the right thing. We don't cut corners. We use the right materials as specified in the construction project.
True that, IG, true that. So in Nigeria, what would you say are some of the challenges to maintaining integrity?
So, to be honest, there are a lot of headwinds.
Yes.
Nigeria is a tough place to do business.
Very.
And a lot of times you are faced with the choice to do things right or to just take the shortcut. But we need to be our own police. Every group of people, all groups of people, take a decision on their ethical standards. So our ethical standards as a company from the beginning is that we will do business with integrity.
Yes.
Now, talking about doing business with integrity, talking about strategy, even though I hadn't been to business school, but strategy is about what to do, who to serve, what services to offer, but more importantly, what not to do. So you can't talk about strategy without deciding on what not to do, the kind of clientele you want to serve. So we took a decision early on that we were going to do business with integrity.
So can I ask that this concept of integrity to you is something that is inbuilt? It's been with you not just when you started Construction Kaiser and decided to make it a core value, but you have actually had this value while growing up. Can you please just tell us how that came about?
Okay, so something that's very important. As founders of businesses,
Yes.
we set the tone for the rest of the business. An entrepreneur founder sets the tone for the rest of the business.
Sure.
One of my personal values very strongly is integrity because it's something that I was raised with. So sometimes you can say it's in your genes. We're influenced by our genes, definitely, as human beings. Yeah. We're influenced by what we see growing up. Then as we grow up, we're now shaped by our own personal experiences.
Yes.
And for me, maybe I have some genes of integrity in me because
There
my
are-
father stood firmly for integrity, but I also saw him practice it.
There you go.
And he schooled me on the benefits to society. A society that does not have values, that does not have ethical values, cannot grow and develop.
Okay, thank you for that. So would you say that in Nigeria, our cultural and societal values, or our factors rather, contribute to this seeming lack of integrity that we have in businesses?
No doubt. Every society is influenced by what people see around. And Nigeria has evolved over time.
Yes.
When my dad and his age mates, people who will have been 100 years old now, when they started in the civil service, there was more integrity. People did the right thing when nobody was looking.
Yes.
So they were in the majority at that time. I'm not saying there was no corruption. They were in the majority. But today, people that act in that way with integrity are in the minority, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
And unfortunately, this concept is permeating through almost every strata of society, and you even find issues of integrity lack right from, I'll say maybe primary schools now, and it's just really disheartening. Okay, IG.
Sorry, Jeremy, I'm talking about that.
Yes.
That's where it starts.
Sure.
So there has to be that integrity. It has to be taught and practiced from childhood, in the homes. I just gave myself as an example.
Yes.
In the schools. And it now becomes a norm. And that norm now becomes a culture.
Sure.
And that's how society can change.
So we have to get the Nigerian society to go back to the home, where they say charity begins.
No doubt.
Yes, sir. Okay, in your opinion, can a business that does not bend does not bend towards this, does not bend on integrity, do you think they are able to survive in Nigeria?
No doubt. They can survive.
Please tell us.
Construction Kaiser is an example.
Wow.
Yes. So I'll tell you. I'll give you some examples
Yes.
that we've suffered in the past.
Yeah.
I'll give you 2 examples.
Okay.
Over Christmas, I was traveling to the US. I flew through London.
Okay.
I arrived at London Heathrow and I got a phone call from somebody who was working in a Fortune 500 company.
Okay.
Called to tell me that we needed to part with some money to be able to get a project. Well, I didn't have too much time to talk. I was boarding my flight to the US. I got on the plane to the US from the UK. I landed. I got another call from another company asking us to do the same thing. But our resolve was strong, and we chose not to pay. We lost both jobs, so that's the downside.
We did.
Now, the upside is that I was traveling from South Africa. I met someone on the plane. Anyway, as we landed, we had an issue where we were asked to pay a bribe, and we refused to pay. 3 days later, we started conversations on a big project, and we got awarded that project because they were looking for an honest contractor. There was already a contractor on site who, as they just moved to site, were asking for more money beyond what was agreed, and they were uncomfortable. So they kicked out that contractor and gave us the job. So what am I saying? There are ups and downs with this.
Yeah.
But we just need to decide, make a decision as a people, and when I mean as a people, as a company, that these are ethical values, this is where we stand, and then we live with it.
That is quite interesting, IG. So you're saying that that very brief encounter you had with this other fellow on your way back from South Africa actually birthed a new job. So you're saying that
Yes.
there's a flip side
Yes.
to these things. Some people are coming to you to ask for bribes and, ask for a cut for you to be able to move ahead on a project, while some people are just observing. That's really interesting. So what would you say is the way forward, and how can we enforce and promote this concept called integrity in Nigeria? What more can we do apart from, or what more can you do apart from, ensuring that this value is inculcated in Construction Kaiser Limited?
So what we're doing right now
Yes.
is one of the things.
Okay. Oh,
Speaking
sure.
out.
Sure.
So we need to speak out,
Yes.
advocate, explain to people that there's more benefit in doing business ethically and with integrity than otherwise. Our source of competitive advantage cannot be the amount of bribes we pay.
True.
And I can tell you for free that companies, clients are looking for people and companies that do business with integrity to give them jobs. I have seen that happen many times. I just gave you an example.
Yes.
And it's beginning to grow more and more. Now, someone making an investment, why would they give out a job and pay a bribe? I'm just saying. You are borrowing money from the bank to build a hotel or a power plant. Are you going to borrow money and add some allowance for a bribe that you're going to pay to someone? It's going to cost you more.
Ludicrous.
Okay?
Ludicrous,
So
actually.
you see investors, they are looking for honest contractors to work with because they know the contractor that pays a bribe will get his pound of flesh at some point down the road. So they are looking for good contractors, honest contractors that keep their word.
Yes.
That's part of integrity.
Yeah.
Every project has its problems. But knowing that you are dealing with someone who has strong values on integrity, you're always sure you can come to a solution.
Yes.
And I've seen that happen many times.
Yes.
People take the contract and say, you know what, by the time we start to look at the contract, it means that relationship is destroyed.
Yeah. True.
So they want to do business with people they know they can talk with, that they can come to an agreement with. In a country like Nigeria, where there's difficulty in enforcing contracts, then contracts are just a piece of paper, really. So that value of integrity is so strong. That's your biggest contract, if you ask me.
True. It's a currency.
Yes.
It's a currency, I would say. Okay. When it comes to ensuring integrity, IG, who would you say has the greatest responsibility? Is it businesses like Construction Kaiser Limited, or is it our clients or our customers, I'll say, or would you even say it's the government? Would you say is the schools? Who do you think has the highest responsibility in ensuring that this concept of integrity is permeated through the society?
Great question, Jamila. And if you ask me, I think that businesses are in the best position to help make that change. Because I always tell my colleagues who run construction companies, if all of us refuse to give bribes, then no one will ask.
I'm just going to cut you in. For me, I totally agree with you, because it's like the chaos on the road when it comes to buses and bus stops. If a bus does not stop anywhere other than the bus stop, then you have all the passengers go wait at the bus stop.
Exactly.
But you have people, hailing cabs or hailing buses along the road that is not the bus stop, and then, they give these guys the opportunity to actually... So
exactly.
it's just the same thing.
So if we all decide not to give,
true,
then they will stop asking. That's
nobody
one.
will ask. Yes.
Okay? So things are now done on merit. And a society that thrives on merit will definitely grow. And then the companies also have the opportunity to go into the schools and go and teach the children. We have programs like that in our foundation where we go into secondary schools and teach them these values. And the greatest thing that makes me happy is at the end of 1 week of a summer camp, a child comes to me and tells me, now I know we can live in Nigeria with integrity.
Transformed.
It's transformed. So that makes me happy, it gives me joy. And I think if more companies do that, then we teach these children and really embed these values in them at a very young age. And they go ahead and become the ambassadors. And they go ahead and keep teaching the other 200 million Nigerians that it is possible.
It sounds like a daunting task, but never say never, they say, right?
No, we have to start from somewhere.
Oh, definitely.
And build the critical mass.
Yes, I agree with you, IG. So I know that you're a man of plenty experiences. Can you just share with us a story, a relatable story on integrity that you had personally experienced? We talked about the other guys that called, and of course, you did not give them any audience, and you definitely did not get the job. But has there been any other, I'll say, an experience where you were actually in the middle of a project, or you were already involved with a client, and then something came out? And how did you handle that, if you have any?
Okay, before I go to the projects,
yes,
I'm going to take you back home a bit.
Okay.
So I think my first daughter must have been about 7 or 9 years old.
Okay.
We were driving on the road, we got to a checkpoint, and a policeman asked us for a bribe. And I refused to pay. And we were there in the car for maybe 1 hour. My younger daughter was crying, she was scared, seeing men with guns. A few years later, she got into secondary school, and she joined the Integrity Club.
Wow.
And she eventually became the president. So what am I saying? That as parents, we have a role to play.
That's really important.
We have a role to play. Children are watching. And I was surprised. She never told me she had joined the club, not talk of becoming the president. I went to visit her in school, and she said, Daddy, I have to leave now. I'm in a hurry. Why do you have to leave? I'm hosting. I'm the president of Integrity Club.
Wow.
So we have a role to play. We have to lead by example. Now, I just give you examples of a job we lost and another one we won because of our display of integrity.
Yeah.
Now, there was another one. There was a big project that we're looking at. That time, it was supposed to be a 15-story building. That was a big deal for us.
Yeah.
And then one of the consultants called me and said, you need to make an allowance for, some money. He was specific about the amount that, to be able to get the government permit, we needed to pay. And then I asked him, is your boss, can I have a conversation with your boss? And he said, no, please don't. Straight away, I knew that there was no government official to pay. He just wanted this money for himself. So at that point, some people would have considered, and we're happy, we'll pay you.
Yes.
But you see, a lot of times, people who claim to stand between you and what you're looking for, they probably don't have the powers that they claim they have.
Most of the time, yes, I agree with you.
We've seen it happen so many times.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of being patient a bit. Let's not look for a quick fix. Let's not look for the shortcut. You find out that they're going to let you go.
Sure.
you probably don't have to pay that money you were being asked to pay. But unfortunately, in this country, we just like the shortcuts.
Oh God.
Unfortunately.
I'm still reeling from the story of the checkpoint with your daughter.
Yes.
And I can just imagine how she also, now being the president of the Integrity Club, or at that time being the president of Integrity Club, how she would, want to pass that value down to her own mates and her friends and her, the club members in school, and how they also will have to pass that. And I think that is one of the surest way that we can actually get this value imbibed. Thank you. Imbibed, in the society, because having the children from that level understanding that concept is really important, because they will even correct their parents when the time comes.
No doubt.
That's really interesting, IG.
By the way, my daughter is an engineer now. She works.
Wow.
So I expect her to take those values into where she's working.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
her and to you too.
Thank you.
Okay. At this times that we're in now, we cannot talk about integrity without, going into money matters. In recent times, the CPN had shared a policy about new notes and how those new notes needed to be faded out and be phased out, and then the old notes needed to be phased out and the new notes coming in. There have been scarcity of Naira notes all over the country. So I want to find out, how has that impacted your business as an indigenous company? You don't trade in Forex, so you need some level of funding to be able to run your business. Can you just please share with myself and the audience how you've been able to navigate that and how you are still navigating it if it's still an issue for your business?
So Jamila, we've been cashless for a long time.
Yes,
We've been cashless for a long time.
We have.
Even when construction companies were still moving money to sites to pay wages,
Yes.
we went cashless.
Yes.
We did transfers to them because it's not even safe.
Yes.
In a country, when you move cash around in cars, in bullion bands, it's not safe. So for me, in the last 6 weeks, my wallet has been empty. Apparently, I found some money in my drawer over the weekend.
Yes.
And then the Supreme Court came out with the judgment
Yes.
that we could now use old notes. So I had some old notes to use.
Okay.
So I had
Good
that
for
to use.
you.
Yes. So I had a head start. But it has taught us that we don't really need to carry so much cash. And all the crime that you see, the kidnapping, it's all because cash is exchanging hands.
Yes.
So while I agree with the policy, the implementation was probably not very good. And that's why a lot of people suffered. I was reading an article this morning about some people who died because the families couldn't pay deposit that the hospital asked them to pay. So that's sad, really sad. But I think in principle, it was a good policy, but execution was not well thought out. And for us at Construction Kaiser, it probably didn't make a difference to our business because we had already gone cashless.
Yes, in our transactions, but I think that for the staff that commute and all of that, yes.
Well, yes. But
it really affected them.
It got to a point that the bus drivers, conductors, started having point-of-sales machines.
Yes, they also...
And they were paying by card.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, some people have died.
Yeah.
I mean, that's extreme. Some people have lost business. That's bad. But then, in the long run, I think the exercise has shown us that we don't need that much cash and we can actually reduce the cash in circulation.
Thank you very much for that question, for that answer, IG, and I would say that it has really been insightful talking to you.
Thank you so much.
I hope that when our audience listen to this, they also would learn a thing or two about integrity and about how you have imbibed this value in your personal life and in your business.
It's been difficult, Jamila. I mean, there were times we had management meetings and people complained that we didn't let them pay bribes. That's why we don't have projects. But, I always told them, I said, we've been growing.
Yeah.
We're growing without paying bribes, so we don't need to. And I think I've been able to have some converts in the process, yes, and build some advocates in the process.
Yeah.
So leadership by example. There is no way you pay bribes and then you tell your employees not to receive bribes.
Yes.
So, you have to lead by example.
True.
No matter how difficult it is, you have because they're watching.
Integrity in business. Is it still possible in Nigeria? What would you say to budding entrepreneurs as a take-home for them from this discussion that we have had?
Thank you, Jamila. And in Nigeria, I know it's tough, but it's possible. Construction Kaiser is an example that this is possible. And for someone starting a business, you want integrity to be your source of competitive advantage. Strive for excellence, and no doubt you'll succeed in your business. People who lack integrity and run their businesses without ethical values will not stand the test of time. Because as Nigeria continues to move and values become stronger, we've seen the last election, you see all the topics that came up.
Yes.
It will come to a time that only companies that are founded on the right values will stand the test of time.
Thank you.
No doubt, you lose some, you win some.
Yes.
But on the long run, you're going to win more than you lose.
Thank you very much, IG. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, it was really nice having you, and we're hoping that this is going to be a great start to the Kaiser Podcast Series celebrating the 30th anniversary of Construction Kaiser Limited.
Thank you, Jamila.
Thank you for tuning into the Kaiser Podcast Series on applying world-class standards at the local level. We hope you've gained valuable insights and practical tips for improving the quality, efficiency, and effectiveness of your organization's operations and services. The podcast series is brought to you by Construction Kaiser Limited, impacting today towards a sustainable future.